being up 13-0.
Okay, now Forrest is going to be in position to take them out, but he does not.
He gets killed me there.
Face going to go connector and lock it off.
Dosia is not going to get the bomb.
Oh, he
down.
spams him through the wall. Really nice.
Surely Get Right's going to get a free kill in the back here, and there it is.
That looked like a fairly winnable round in that last scenario.
Yep. They were basically relying on both SK players sticking together and going up the spawn ramp to backside rather than peeking Z. Took a risk and it didn't pay off this time.
And one of the weird things actually when you watch M5 play is that they don't really seem like rages. They actually seem to like when they're losing, they just seem to like stop talking to each other. And just like, they have blank expressions on their faces.
And like going out to Ali Ramke,
Get right in
takes out Robin,
prime position here to
dies
spray
as well.
them. But gets killed
Spotted
immediately.
by Edic.
Forrest trapped up the ladder, can't look because I think he got flashed.
Fox killed Face, flanking inner. And looks like M5's finally gonna get on the board. Forrest getting flanked here, and that's 14-1 first half score in favor of SK Gaming. And you gotta figure the best M5 can do now is prolong the match a little bit, make the score look a little better. Agree?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I think for M5, regardless of the fact they're going to lose, it's still worth being focused in the sense that they've actually looked really rusty this whole tournament that we've seen them play. Like, they haven't been particularly good at all, so if you're them, this is a really good chance to get warmed up playing against really good players and, like, get, like, your actual game in order.
They have a chance to get maybe 10 rounds if they get pistol and first gun. SK's T side is really bad on this map.
That is true. That's what we were talking about earlier too, that Swedish teams, well, basically the teams led by Wally Robin and Karn have never been particularly good on T-side of train. We were talking about how having CRTs at GameGune makes the T-sides a lot harder due to flashes being weaker.
But to be fair, it's one thing to be like not very strong on T side when you're playing really good CT sides, but I don't particularly know that M5's beyond just an above average CT side on this map.
Yeah, that is true.
Plus, every time we saw M5 play against SK earlier in the year, before SK got Delpan, M5 always seemed like by far the most confident team. Like, even though SK thought they should win, they always had it in the back of their minds that, like, these guys always give us problems and, like, it's going to be hard, and if we start losing, like, oh no, what if we're going to lose to these guys? Whereas now it looks like, especially after ICSC, where SK did have a little bit of trouble, but they still won, I get the feeling that, like, SK have consider M5 like significantly lower than them in like every respect.
Yep.
And I think probably that's actually spilled over to M5. Like, I think M5 probably realized that SK is like a level above them, especially on this map. I think that's the big key, the most key thing. That's one of the things I've always found quite strange about Russian teams in general. Like, when you consider everyone does think of Russian players and think, oh, they all can use the AWP, they're all quite good at doing it, they're quite good at like mid-range AWPing. They've never really been like monsters on train, especially not in this era. I wonder what the delay is, because you'd think with it being such a big score, both teams would want to get on with it.
Yeah.
I think the server might have crashed or something, because
Yeah,
the HL
that's
TV
what it-
like switched out.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like, because it's Agile TV reconnected and all the SK players are now gone from the server.
Maybe M5 had their manager playing instead of Dozier the whole game.
And about your op, like the Russians opping on CD Train, I think like One of the things is like they don't have proper money management on this map on CT. They will randomly have 3 ops and stuff like that, and when you lose a round and you haven't strung like 3 or 4 together, it's really hard to keep buying ops. And then they get forced into rifling.
Yeah,
And plus, they might be the only professional team who will regularly buy a Deagle as CT.
Yeah. Plus, they just do that randomly, even like halfway down the half too. Just like single deagles here and there. Plus one thing is, I mean, I guess now since they can't afford to lose more than 1 round, I guess it doesn't really matter that their money management's bad as CT, but even as Ts, we saw them do a lot of like weak partial buys, which is like a little odd, I think, considering how hard the T side is to begin with.
But that's also a symptom of if you don't have a really good tactical system in place, you have no reason to want to like money manage and go, okay, we're going to go for like our full strategy here where we have all our complement of flashes and smokes and everyone has the right gun. It doesn't really matter to them. Like every round's the same, you know?
It's true. I feel like the way that M5 plays is on pretty much almost all their maps, they kind of just split up and do a worse version of what FX does. They just split up, try and get picks, but...
Yeah, I think that's actually a pretty fair assessment. It's actually funny considering how delayed GameGune the tournament is, that the admin still take forever to even restart.
Okay, elsewhere, ESC beat Defining Stars 16-11. So ESC is now waiting for Navi in the next round.
Duncan, wasn't it Ramke who's in an interview said that he agrees that Russians in general buy ops way too much, like way too many people op?
Well, I mean, I said it jokingly, like, why does every Russian think he can op? And then Romska did just say, like, it's because we're Russian, like, as though, like, it's just the default that everyone thinks they can op. And then Hooch, who was translating, actually, it wasn't Romska answering, but Hooch answered himself and said it's because every Russian plays online with, like, whatever, 30 ping, and so online they're able to hit all these shots at, like, medium and long range because you don't have to worry as much about, like, the really good low ping rifler. But then when it gets to LAN, it's not the same, you know.
Do you think maybe M5 has too many people who randomly op?
I think they have too many people who AWP when they have people on their team who are better at AWPing.
Yeah.
Like, I think there always has to be some kind of system to your team, because that way the guys who aren't doing a particular thing know what they should be doing, whereas in M5, like, it's just all over the place.
And Eric looks to be pushing T mid. He has a perfect timing right now, just as Forrest leaves the flank. And M5 should be... I don't know why Dosia is not rotating. They know they're all in white walls right now. The whole team should be rotating inner, which they finally are now.
Gets spotted, I think. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I thought he was.
Yeah, okay,
no,
he did
was.
now.
The guy jumping over the box saw him.
Oh.
And they kill him so free.
Really nice clock shot by Robin.
It was, but Eric really should have just hid behind the boxes or something. Just made sure he doesn't get spotted, because as long as he's there, they know SK has to go inner, and they can keep 4 people stacked in there. So that was kind of a weird, maybe a little too aggressive play.
SK heading outside, guy at the electric box, Fox on the bomb train, guy behind the electric box now, and he's, believe it or not, it's that guy, Robin, who kills Dosia. Really bad work of covering his brother there by Fox.
It's 1v1, Fox and GetRight. Both have spotted each other. GetRight's gonna make it into Z hole. There's only 10 seconds left, which means GetRight's basically just gonna have to run in and plant.
Oh, he chooses to go back for the kill. Wow.
Seems like a very Russian way to play that 1v1.
Hey, it's not too bad.
No, it wasn't a bad way.
Because, I mean, he did have less health than Fox, so maybe he counted on that.
It wasn't a bad way, but it was definitely the risky play, because Fox could have just waited that out, and GetRight could have ran in and just planted on the other side of the bomb train and guaranteed at least getting the bomb down, but...
He could, but also Fox could have been just like running behind him once he got to the site, and then he's like sort of trapped at the bomb train once the bomb goes down.
Yeah. It looks like this should be game right here. SK's
and plus they are already so high up.
Walk out of alley. Dosia's gonna spot him in a second. He quick
Hits
switches and
nothing.
can't shoot. He actually quick switch just as he walked out, so he couldn't shoot.
Who knows why you'd need to change from your deagle on a save round on the last game anyway.
A lot of people die doing that though, still. Should be a fairly easy round now. 3 versus 2 after plan for SK. Get right to
He did
it,
completely misses.
and there we go. That is a 16-1 upper bracket quarterfinal match between SK and M5. Definitely
Okay, let me check what time the next game is.
definitely expected more from this game. Navi Delta is starting now, but I feel like it's probably not going to be very exciting. So should we
No,
just
I
take
want
a
to eat something anyway.
Yeah, so we should probably take a little break for food and whatnot, and then come back after for one of the better matches.
Based on the way the time is set out at the moment, it looks like SK versus Fnatic won't be until at least like 8:30 CEST, and that's probably the game we're going to want to watch, depending on when they schedule them. Like maybe they'll schedule the two games separately when we do both semi-finals. But assuming we're going to watch SK versus Fnatic, that's going to be on Inferno. And let's say 8:30 or around that time. As usual, we'll post on the EACA thread, we'll post on the Twitter, Winout TV. Anything else to add?
No, I think that's it. So tune right back in for the SK Fnatic game then, probably like an hour or so, maybe a little.